Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, we got some news out of New York, primarily in the Upper West Side of New York. So shout out, the city. And it's about this guy right here. This guy that you see pictured with his head down. His name is Eduardo Diaz. 42 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, this man went and shot up his old job, shot his boss up at his old job, his ex-boss, at a job he worked 2 months ago. And he'd been going ever since he got fired. Now, this guy went and did that, then ran and jumped in the subway tunnels and had the city, part of the city, on lockdown for at least an hour. I want you to take a look at this and we'll come back and talk about it.
In police custody tonight is the alleged shooter in an apparent workplace dispute that spilled onto the sidewalks and into the subway system.
Dave Carlin reports tonight from the Upper West Side.
In custody and charged with attempted murder is 42-year-old Eduardo Diaz, who police say showed up at a computer repair shop where until recently he worked, allegedly targeting a victim described as his ex-boss. A bullet hole from Thursday morning's shooting remains visible to anyone walking along this side of Columbus Avenue near 68th Street. The glass on this bus shelter shattered. It's now fixed.
I saw the repair in progress.
Any thoughts about it overall?
Shootings don't normally happen here, but this is New York City.
Police released multiple videos showing the suspect first in the workplace, then on the sidewalk where police say he fired repeatedly.
I heard like 15 loud bangs.
After the shooting, some subway riders were on the floor of train cars as police searched underground for the suspect. He tried to escape through subway tunnels. It is not clear exactly where he was found by police. The sources who described the shooter as a former employee also told us that he left his job about 2 months ago.
I'm glad they got him. I was in school when it happened. We went on lockdown, but it wasn't necessarily worrying because we were informed pretty early that it was a targeted attack. It wasn't a random shooting.
The victim, who was shot in the leg and shoulder, is recovering at Mount Sinai Morningside. Dave Carlin, CBS News, New York.
Tonight, police arrest the man accused of shooting his former boss in broad daylight on the Upper West Side, sparking a citywide manhunt.
All right, Fox 5's Duarte Geraldino joins us now with more on the charges the suspect is facing. Duarte.
Steve, attempted murder is the top charge right now, but there are others. Folks over here in the Upper West Side are feeling a little bit safer tonight, but many are surprised no one else was shot because apparently, they tell us, the suspect was waving his gun around. Here's what we know based on what police are telling us. The suspect's name is Eduardo Diaz. Here he is leaving the police station earlier today. He's 42 years old and lives in Queens. He's facing some serious charges, including attempted murder. Former co-workers say Diaz used to work at a computer shop near 68th Street and Columbus Avenue. He got fired and then apparently came back to argue with his boss. Witnesses tell us the two men argued inside the shop, and then the argument spilled out onto the street, where one man was heard saying, "Give me my money, give me my money." Witnesses also say at one point the 47-year-old victim was begging for his life, but Diaz allegedly, and this is according to police, shot him twice, once in the leg and once in the shoulder. Then he ran into the subway, and it was total chaos down there in the subway. Police were chasing after him, and people on the train were told to lie down on the floor of the train. Imagine that. Some people were stuck on that train for more than an hour. Firefighters even had to turn off the power so police could search the tracks without getting electrocuted. But Diaz, well, he still got away through a subway hatch, and today police finally arrested him. Diaz is in jail right now, waiting to go before a court judge. And at this point, we do know that he was fired from that shop, but investigators say we still don't have a motive. But tonight, the man accused of shooting another man in daylight on the Upper West Side is behind bars. On the Upper West Side, Duarte Geraldino, Fox 5 News.
Seeing the story that guy's locked up, guy's recovering in the hospital. Thankfully, he didn't lose his life. But they said the guy ain't worked there in 2 months. Now, I don't know what the problem was, or he just couldn't let something go. I mean, obviously, he couldn't let it go, right? He went back there and tore the guy up. You know what I'm saying? Blazed him. Now, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of times when I was looking at this, what was running through my head is something that's in a lot of scenarios people don't really think about. I don't know this guy's status, whether he's an illegal migrant or not. So, you'll hear that in the comment. I don't know. But, this guy is working his job. Don't know how long he was working it. And then he up and lost his job. For some odd reason, he was fired. Right? Within that 2 months, and this is just me thinking, within the 2 months of him going, leaving that job, it was something in his mind he kept going over, or something that couldn't be replaced, that overpowered his mentals to where he went back and had to do this to this guy. It might have been that he couldn't get another job. Because I'm going to tell you something, the job market right now, no matter what you hear, it's hard to get jobs, depending on where you at. Hey, that job right there might have been real convenient for him, and then ever since he lost that job, he might not have been able to replicate the success that he had when he was with that job, no matter how significant it was. And he might have just blamed the dude, like, yo, I shouldn't have got fired. Yeah, I should have money, and you know how people get. And he went back and did what he did. But I mean, come on, man, come on. It's like a lot of people don't talk to themselves, or self-reflect. I can say these words all the time, but I mean, it's something that I just been taught when I was younger. We all have to sit down and talk with ourselves sometimes, even as crazy as it sounds, whether you don't do it outside of your mouth, but you have to reflect. I'm here because of what? And because this happened, I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure it don't happen again. I don't know what made Mr. Diaz do that, but it's messed up. It's that guy's job. He got a right to have people there who he wants, hire who he wants, and fire who he wants. And people don't like it. I got tired of that rat race stuff, so I said, you know what? I'm going to jump off the ledge and start my own thing. And I was lucky. I was. But I mean, a lot of people don't think like that. We're taught a lot of times when we're young to get up and get a job. We're taught to go work for people and stuff like that instead of starting our own thing. And a lot of, most of us are not taught entrepreneurism, I said ism, entrepreneurship, owning our own business and stuff like that when we're young, because we're raised by parents that have jobs themselves and look at it like no big deal. Regardless of that, this guy shouldn't have shot that man. He shouldn't. But then again, you don't know what goes through people's head. I had a job where they did me dirty. I was making hella good money for my age at that time. I was in my 20s. Making $80,000 a year. That was a lot back in 2000. And I flew off the deep end. You know what I'm saying? Got upset, put the blame on others, wound up robbing banks, wound up going to prison because I didn't have the ability to self-reflect because I was so angry of how I felt they did me at that time. And, I accept full responsibility for that. And it made me a better person. But I mean, in my case, nobody got hurt or killed or anything. But that right there is extreme. I don't know what went through his mind to make him do that. Because sometimes people fire you or do some slick stuff and get you out of there for the craziest reason. So I ain't going to really go off on him. But come on, he should know better than to go shoot somebody. 2 months after you lost your job, you thinking about it that much? That's the only thing come on, man. What are we doing here? I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe. You can tell it's Friday. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.